Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Yesterday and the day before, we talked about place. And that's what I'm doing with Captain right here. I've got him on a place cot. And remember, when we would train our dogs to do place, we say the word place, put them on the cot, and then stay and walk away. And remember, I told you the reason why we did that is that we were actually going to train stay at the same time. Now, that being said, free. I'm going to put the cot up and we're going to go straight into stay. Stay is a very easy behavior to train if you've already trained it on your cot or using your platform. But in case you haven't, you're going, Bryan, okay, I've already kind of started working on stay. I didn't get a cot. I didn't get a mat to use. I just want to learn stay. What is really the obvious difference between stay and place? Really just the platform itself. And that platform is really handy because it kind of checks your dog's behavior. If dogs are laying on a platform and they see a squirrel, they go, squirrel, and they're gone. But when they hop off the platform, right then, that very second, there's an awareness. And they go, oh, bad mistake. And many of them, after about a week of training, hop right back on that cot and go, dang it, I'll have to get the squirrel some other time. But if they're just lying on the ground on good old terra firma, now all of a sudden, squirrel, and they're gone. And there's really nothing to check that behavior. No change in texture underneath their pads, no haptic signal, no nothing. They're just gone. So stay is never going to be as reliable as place. But it's also very handy though, because imagine now having to drag a cot around with you everywhere you go, or even a mat. So I have a strong stay in my repertoire with my dogs. I want them to know it, and I'm going to use it all the time. So here's how we train it. The first thing I recommend that when you train stay is teach the dog some sort of static position first. Most of you have already trained your dogs on how to sit. You can teach them to sit, or you can teach them to lie down. Down. I like the down, and I'm going to be demonstrating and teaching how to train your dog to down. And that's going to be a little bit two-part video as well, because it's a really great behavior, because as soon as he lies down here on the ground, his body, just with or without his help, is going to start to slow down. Same thing with us humans. As soon as we go horizontal on the ground, horizontal on a bed, horizontal on a couch, you name it, our heart rate immediately starts to slow in preparation for sleep. That's just an adaptive survival response, and your dog's going to do the same thing. Okay, so I told my dog to down. Now I'm going to say stay, just like I did on that cot. Big sweeping open hand signal. Later, you can just go like that. But now we're in the beginning. Stay. And I'm going to walk away. If I use my long line, which I recommend that you definitely do when you're first training stay, you want to have control over the dog. Now, once you're out here, here's a big difference that you yourself have to do, or what you have to watch for. Dogs that are in a stay can make a big mistake very quickly. Very quickly. Remember, they don't have that platform to check a natural impulse. They don't. So because of that, they can get up really fast and take off really fast. And I don't allow big mistakes in my training. I simply don't. And the reason being is that dogs can learn to make mistakes. They can learn under these conditions. I can do exercise A or elect option B. I don't want them to learn that. I give you a signal. You do the signal and continue doing the signal a certain way until I give you another signal to respond to. So when you're watching your dog while doing stay, I want you to keep three things in mind, and I'm going to write these in the comment section of this video. One of those is simply going to be called composite signaling. What is that? That's a big fancy word to simply mean this. Your dog, when it has an intention, will add a signal. Meaning, remember, they give signals to influence behavior. If your dog sees another dog approaching, sees someone else approaching, maybe a squirrel running down the tree, they will typically give a signal. And composite signaling is when they stack one on top of the other. Case in point, let's say a dog started walking down the street. Your dog's in a down stay. And you suddenly see the tail start to move. One signal right there. The eyes become fixed on the approaching dog. Another signal. Ears forward. Another signal. These are composite signals. It's building, which gives you plenty of warning that your dog is about to get up and leave. And that's wonderful, because you know what I do when I see that? No. I give a little tug on my line, say no. In other words, don't even go there. I know what you were thinking. We're not even going to go there. We're going to preempt this right off the bat so you don't make a big mistake, because you certainly can, because I'm about 15 feet away from you. That's known as composite signaling. That's your best day, where your dog gives you not just one warning, 2, 3, sometimes even 4 before they actually act out. The other one that is not so desirable is known as meta-communications. And that's when you have tons of signals happening at the exact same time. And all of a sudden, the dog goes from on the ground to standing straight up, growling, barking, or getting ready to move. Wow, you just had about anywhere from 5, 6, 7 signals all occur at the exact same time. A big signal suite, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, all trying to achieve R1, one kind of response. Okay, so now if I whip out a ball here with Captain, right there, probably, let me have you move over just a little bit, Mackenzie, so you can see his eyes. So come over here, right where you can see his eyes. You will see right here. Now, Captain's very well trained, so we've got another dog in the room we're going to use in a second. Very well, but look at those ears twitch. Look at the ear turn and move back. He's studying me with those eyes. He's looking at the ball. I could almost be like a hypnotist and just start to put him to sleep. That right there is a perfect example of composite signaling, meaning I'm only getting a couple signals coming at me. Staring with the eyes, ears up, ears moving forward, checking his surroundings because he's getting ready to go after this ball if I launch it. But a meta signal would be something more akin to right there. Almost, he didn't break it, but he did stand up for a second, just a little bit, and turned his body and now was focused on that ball. But what he did afterwards is, go ahead and throw that back to me, Ashley. Still got those little baseball skills from back in the day. That was fancy, left-handed even. What he did afterward is another important thing, and it's known as the principle of antithesis. And what this means simply with dog behavior is a dog will reverse its signaling if it reverses its intention. So Captain's intention was to go after the ball because I bounced it. And you saw him kind of get up and half turn. He's in a half crouch. He's not all the way lying down. But then a little tug on my leash, and he looked back and laid back down. That's what you want to see. If your dog stands up like it's going to leave the stay for whatever reason, I don't care. If it goes to a multitude, to what we call meta-communication, you must immediately act right then and keep acting. No, don't go there. Bad. No. A little tug on that leash or snap on that leash, whatever it takes, so that your dog now reverses its signals. In other words, completely shuts off the ones that indicated its original intention to go after that thing, to break the stay and return back to a solid stay position. And that's where the dog goes, no, no, my bad. There you go. That's what you want to look for. Then you can say, well done, great decision. But you want to look for a complete 180-degree reversal of the signals that your dog just gave, like a neon sign in the fog, that I'm breaking this stay. All right? So now what I would like to do is go back, and I'm going to release Captain. I'm going to talk about releasing dogs here at the very end of this video. Free. And over here, I have Ashley. So Ashley, again, you've met her in previous videos. She's one of our senior trainers here. And she has a dog named Willow. Willow's a very young dog. And Ashley's going to kind of demonstrate with Willow because Willow isn't trained as thoroughly as Captain is. So we're actually hoping Willow will make a mistake here. All right, so Ashley's going to do the first thing. She's going to stop, make Willow lie down. Okay, so Willow's all the way down. She's going to say stay, and she's gone. She's out of here. She's working on those 3 Ds, just like you do in place. Distance, duration, distraction. But if you will notice something with Willow, Watch what happens when I approach. Look at the wagging tail. Wow, turning in my direction. Eyes fixed on me, tail becoming more exaggerated. What she's doing is enriching the signal. She's making it stronger. She's sending me a stronger signal. And that's full warning to Ashley that she may get up because, did you know this? A wagging tail has many meanings behind it, but one of the strongest ones means the animal is conflicted. It's a biological response to conflict. And the dog truly is conflicted at this moment. I'm walking, I'm going, oh, what a sweet dog. And her previous life, before she arrived for training, was one in which, oh my, I'm going to go meet that person. This looks like a lot of fun. But now the other part of her brain is probably going right now going, I wouldn't get up if I were you. Just so you know, maybe a nice guy, maybe he was going to give you a wonderful pet, but if you get up, there could be a cost involved. Well, anyway, the whole point behind this is that Ashley is getting a ton of warning. So again, I approach, wow, this is a warning. I'm up here going, oh my goodness gracious. Oh my, I need a dog that was going to make a mistake. So let me try the ball here. Oh, look at this ball. Your training's too good. It's too good. I asked for a dog that would make a mistake. So now let me try Captain here. Come on, cattle dog. Free, buddy. Let's see what we can do. Okay, there we go, just a little bit. Now we get a little bit, this is starting to escalate, but we're still in composite signaling land. Come on, cattle dog, right up and over. You won't even step over the darn dog. He's got a one-track mind right now, the ball. Free! Free, cattle dog. Get the ball. There you go, cattle dog. Bring that ball over here. Good, but then right there, a little bit more advancement in that composite signaling. But okay, I'm not going to run the video all day long because we're not going to get her to go beyond a certain point here. My point is this. Look for clues. When you're first training, stay until you have achieved a level of reliability. Don't be so casual as quickly as what you can afford to be when you're training place. You don't want to stare constantly at the dog. You just want to move around and see the dog outside your vision. You want to be aware of the dog. You want to act out anytime the dog gives you a clue, whether it be composite, whether it be meta-communication, whether it be, and then what you want to look for, either one of those, you act, you say no, you remind the dog to stay if you have to, and what you want to look for is the principle of antithesis. You want to see a complete reversal of the dog's signals because its intention should have reversed. And if you don't have that, you're not finished. You've got to get the dog to settle back down, quit moving. So again, as we move away here, if you look down at Willow, notice the tail has stopped moving. We have achieved, there has arrived the principle of antithesis. And your job is not done, and you should not focus on the dog until you get that. At any point, should it leave that land, like right there with composite signaling, you must be aware and be ready to act and act quickly so no big mistakes occur. All right, how do we get a dog out of the stay? Well, there's a couple of things here. One, I would recommend that you use a complex signal just like we do with place. In the beginning, here's the difference. With place, I'm going to use a complex signal, the return to the dog, take control, free the dog, just like I do. I'm going to do that in place forevermore. But for stay, after a couple of weeks, many people can now start to, once they have reliability, start to shed some of those signals. Meaning you can start to actually work on come from that spot if you want to. Some people, if you're having trouble with your state, don't jump to that point. Because know this, the more ways you give your dog to get out of that position, alpha X marks the spot called the stay, the more ways you give them to get out of it, the more likelihood there's going to be a mistake. Oh, did you say come? I could have sworn I heard you say come. wasn't the word free. Because you remember, now I get to get out of this with just the word free. I know I used to not be able to, but now I do. So just give that some thought. You decide, where am I going to use this? When am I going to use this? Under what conditions am I going to use stay? And that should dictate how reliable your stay needs to be. And if you need it as rock solid as place, you need that thing just dead on, spot on point, then I just recommend, hey, use the complex signal. Say come, say the command come for when your dog is just ranging free. When you've said free and they just run off, they're out in the field somewhere, or they're at a dog park and you're going, I gotta go. And then you call your dog back to you. So you don't always have to call them out of a static position. That's kind of like, that's not even real life anyway. We talk about that all the time here as the trainers. It's really not real life. Who at home goes sit, stay, and then calls their dog, walks over here like in a dog show, cow dog, come. See, even him. He's so used to me using the complex signal, he completely ignored it. He gave me a composite signal, but he did not break it because he's used to Bryan coming back, taking control, free. And now he's out of here. So again, just depends on the reliability. Just know the more ways you get out of it, the more there's a chance that you are going to make a mistake down the road. And a lot of times, as Murphy will rear his ugly head, your dog will make that mistake when you can least afford it. All right, that's stay. It is the word stay. Big open palm signal there. I recommend start off with a static position. Later you can train your dog, like if I tell Captain stay. It doesn't matter if he's in a stand. It doesn't matter. And for me, honestly, unless I'm just working the dog's brain, if he was to sit after that moment, for right now, I've been gone for 10 minutes, knock yourself out. Just don't leave my spot. Because the whole reason why I'm saying stay is I need you to remain there while I go over here. I got business over here. So again, I can train perfection. I can compete with anybody. But I'm all about practicality. You remain over there, and if you feel comfortable standing doing that, knock yourself out. But if I tell you to sit, and if I tell you to down, we're going to cover those in upcoming videos. Oh, sorry, you have to do it. Now, that's not where we get sloppy. But I just want to prove the point that you can make a dog stay from darn near any position if you wish to. Hope that helps. Again, you know the rules here, people. Please share. Every day I hear from people saying, I'm so glad my friend shared this with me. I cannot tell you the impact that these videos have had. I didn't realize the mistakes I was making, and also I didn't realize how good I was doing. Hey, that's what it's all about. Here to help you guys. That's why I do these things. Share them, please. And tomorrow, I've got some more stuff in store for you. In fact, I'm going to show you a little bit on how to teach that down. And then after that, I've got some questions I need to answer. So stand by for those, some really big, powerful questions. Okay, until I see you guys tomorrow, be safe and practice your stay and your place. Have a good one.